my right, I see Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Holy crap, that's all the art they have Blue Eyes White Dragon. This card has so much art of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
It's called fucking nepotism.
I have a deck based off Blue Eyes White Dragon.
No. I mean, if you want to, you can do that.
I don't need it. I like dragons,
I
but
mean,
not that much. Not in Yu-Gi-Oh! At least. I like looking at them. I don't like playing them.
that's disrespectful.
All right. I mean, I said dragons, not dragon maids.
I mean, hey, I am a servant to all dragons. But Dragon Maid is just my vehicle specific. Whatever, call it what you want.
What the fuck is this dragon? That's a dragon. That's a reptile. Alright. Are you still setting up your stream?
Yep.
Oh, I see heroes, right? I see heroes. Okay. If I had to pick a type of deck to try out, archetype, I want to do something between like beat down, but also have like utility to fucking get around the fucking bullshit that fucks me up on a fucking basis.
Well, we need to determine what type of deck you want to play. Beatdown is helpful information though, because there's a specific type of that's a specific type of deck.
Uh,
Warriors, a beatdown warrior deck. I don't think warriors and beatdown tend to go hand in hand.
what's Warrior do?
Warriors are very akin to Dragon. They have a lot of very good generic support. So you can end up using that support to combo and just amass a lot of card advantage with Warriors. They tend to be on the more fragile and less repeatable side though. So if your opponent can like stop you or interrupt you, yeah,
That's pretty gay.
pretty much.
Alright then. What about fiends? How are they doing right now? Actually, that's a really good another question. I remember one of the last good deck I had in real life was it revolved around Necrofear. We had like a bunch of fiends and it was really easy to summon dark monsters at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But this was back in 2004. I was young. Or 2003.
So your desired deck is, you said beatdown?
Yeah, it's a beatdown.
Hmm. Yeah, Ancient Gears. Ancient Gears is a pretty solid option for that.
Gears
But
sounds like machine.
Yeah, it is.
Alright.
There's Ancient Gears. This is a solid beatdown deck. Does Grenmaju count? I guess Grenmaju would also count as a beatdown deck. That deck doesn't have a specific type that it locked itself into.
What's Grim Logic?
It's a banish deck that does. It's actually a pretty easy like head ass deck to play, where you use cards like Pot of Desires that banishes 10 cards from the top of your deck to draw 2 cards to power up this one card like called Grenmaju Deiza that gains, I think it's like 400 attack for every banished card, every one of your banished card,
Yeah.
and so it gets, by banishing 10 for Pot of Desires, it immediately gets to like 4,000 attacks. So it's just a really big stick, essentially.
I'd like to try that one. Looks nice.
And then it plays a lot of like cards to dismantle your opponent's boards, and it's a go second deck. It struggles like to go first, so it's a lot. It's okay. I think it's a pretty good deck. I don't think it's I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine, really.
You'll beat me no matter what. I know that. That doesn't matter.
Well, it's not about me specifically. I'm just like explaining the deck and like its matchups.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an anti-meta strategy in it that it preys on the metagame and it can play cards to counter what's good. And then it swings for game with this little fucker. The only problem with it is it doesn't do too well against control strategies or strategies with a grindy game plan that can stun you out with interruption, because it's super fragile. It's not the most coherent strategy, but it is very very like powerful, and it gets big numbers like real quick. So
Yeah.
there's always that.
That's the one I understand, or the one that I would like to get back into first, and then I'll think of something else, something more. What's the word? Controlling or anti-controlling.
Anti-control, I guess, like aggro, right? My deck is weird. It's like a mid-range combo hybrid. So, anyways, I might as well just teach you the fundamentals before we start picking out a deck. Are you watching the stream, or should I stream on Discord so you can see? Fair. Can you see? Alright, so one of the things that you kind of need to learn since you stopped playing is I'm sure you know like about attack position and like setting cards and like how you can't set monsters in defense position. You can only summon monsters in defense position. You can normal summon them face up or set them face down. And like I know you know how spells work. Traps. Yeah. So I shouldn't need to explain those things, right? What I want to explain is link summoning. That's probably the most important thing for you to learn. Link monsters are the newest card type introduced into the game. They are the most generic of all the summoning mechanics. They don't require, whereas fusion monsters tend to require a fusion spell alongside its materials. Xyz monsters require monsters with the same level in most cases to make them, and synchro monsters required a tuner and a non-tuner that equal the level of the monster you were trying to summon, right? Link monsters are like synchro summoning, but they don't have that. They don't have any levels. So it doesn't mean they're treated as zero. They just don't have levels. So a card that would interact with them, with the cards that would have a level, don't actually work on Link monsters. Link monsters also don't have defense points, so you can't put them in defense. They can only be in attack. While that does sound like Mirror Force would be really good against them, in reality, Mirror Force isn't as good these days. So, how to link summon? There are links. You see these arrows? These arrows tell you where you can summon a link monster. Normally, you can't, like, say I'm going to try and summon this monster. You can't summon a link monster to a zone that is not being pointed to by another link monster. You can only summon them here. This is what's called the extra monster zone. It's a new zone that wasn't always there, that they added, right? So when you would summon a link monster, it immediately goes up here. You get one, and your opponent gets the other one if you don't claim it. The only way to claim both of them is to perform what is called an extra link, and what that means is you see this little red arrow right here. It would have to point all the way here to another monster. That monster would need an arrow that pointed here. To this monster, a monster here would need to point here, and a monster here would need to point up here. That's the only way you can get both of them. It's not really a practical strategy anymore. But the way link monsters work is that they go based off of their rating, right? So a link 1 is the equivalent to any monster that's not a link 2 or higher. So a fusion monster is a link 1, normal monster is a link 1, an effect monster is a link 1, an exceeds monster is a link 1, and a synchro monster is a link 1. However, any link monster that's higher than link 1 is treated as 1 and its own number, right? So what that means is I'm going to normal summon this, and this is treated as a link 1, so I can use it as material for a link 1. They're equivalent, right? They require the same resources. So now I'm going to summon this guy, and I'm going to use his effect and summon this. Now I have 2 monsters, right? So now I can make a link 2. Do you see that? So he has 2 arrows, and they both point to here. So now if I were to link summon again, I can summon a link monster to either of these zones now. So we're gonna. Where the 2 dragons were on the field doesn't matter. It was the fact that I had 2 dragons that were able to be used to summon this card. This card requires 2 dragon monsters, if you see it in its text right here, and it's a link 2, so I can make it, right? So I'm going to use this guy. See, he requires a level 1 level 4 or lower dragon monster. So this is a level 4 or lower dragon monster. It's a link 1, so I can summon him. I do just that, right? Now he has a zone pointing here, and he has a zone pointing here. So if I had the resources, I could link summon to either of these 2 zones because they're being pointed to. The game indicates it by this blue mark. You see the blue square? Whereas if I hover here, there's nothing here because there's nothing being pointed to. Now, remember when I said a link monster counts as its own rating in 1 when used for a link summoning? This monster right here is a link 2. This monster here is a link 1. If I can combine them together, I can make a link 3, right? Because 2 plus 1 is 3. But I could also make another link 2 because this card can also be treated as a link 1. So I do this. I make another copy of the card. Yeah. Now, in this, for demonstration of how the mechanic works, you wouldn't do something like that because there wasn't any value gained in doing it. But in some situations, some decks actually build on the idea of using higher level link monsters to make lower level ones that may have stronger effects. Or you may just want to make the same thing. It just really depends on what the monster itself does. Sorry, now I'm gonna go through something a little bit quick, right? To just show you what, I guess, the pace of the game now. So I'm gonna normal summon this card and use its effect to search this. This is essentially Monster Reborn. So I'm going to use this card to make a link 1. That's to put this card in the graveyard. Then I'm going to use this card to revive it. Right. Now I have 2 monsters, so I can make a link 2. This card requires 2 dragons and or wing beast monsters except tokens, right? The 2 monsters I just sent are both dragons, so I can make it. It has an effect on summon to search this card, right? Now I'm going to use this card. This card is a Monster Reborn that I can revive any dragon that's level 4 or lower. Or I can add it to my hand. So I'm going to special summon. Now I'm going to use this card to make this, because it's a link 1, right? And I'm going to use this card's effect to move this right here. Now I'm going to special summon. Yes, this card has 2 effects. One is to revive on activation, and while it's already fast up, I can get a different effect, which is to move I believe it's a dragon specifically. Yeah, you can target 1 dragon monster you control and move it. So I get to special summon from my deck a dragon, and then this card has its own effect. I'm going to use it to dump this. Right. So now I'm going to special summon another link 1. I can summon it to either of these zones, right? Because this card and this card point here, and this card also points here. So I can summon to either of these 2 zones. I can't summon here. It's really just making a board while controlling the zones to do it properly. Yeah, you can't summon a link monster to these zones from your extra deck. without having something here.
Okay. So in this situation, because
I could only summon in these two zones. Yes. Right. Now, right now, because I summoned this card here and it's facing this way. See this red arrow is pointing this way. That means I can summon a monster from my extra deck here too. If that makes sense, right? So I'm going to use this card's effect, and I'm going to bring something back. Pretty much, yeah. And so what you can do is you can just keep blinking, right? So you can do this. Then you take 2, and you make another 2, right? Now we're gonna go up the chain. We have 2 and we have 1. We're gonna make a 3. Yeah. Don't worry about the effect I just used. We made a link 3. See, this card has 3 arrows. Red, red, red. And they all in this direction, right? If this card was down here, I could use these 2 arrows up here, but I couldn't use this one. But because I summoned it here, I can only use this 1 arrow here, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could make up to a link 5, or we can make another link 3. Because remember what I said, right? These cards count as their number and 1. So I can make a 3, 4, or 5. Right. Yeah, pair I do play. Nope, it's the value equivalent to their links that they have. It's like a synchro summon, only you don't need tuners, and link 1s specifically are equivalent to an effect monster. Or any monster, right? Like if you summon a monster, that card is treated as having 1 card, right? A link 1, if that's applicable, can just use that card and replace it. So you still technically have the same amount of value, right? If that makes sense. It's worth 1 link rating. This card right here is worth 3 and 1. This card is worth 2 and 1. What this means is I can link summon a monster that's 2 because they can both be treated as 1, 3 because this one can be treated as 1 and this one's a 2, 4 because this one can be treated as 1 and this one's a 3, and 5 because this one's actually a 2 and this one's actually a 3. So I can make anything but a 1 and a 6 with these 2. So we're gonna make a 4. We make a 4 because this card is treated as a 3 and this one was treated as a 1 for that summon. Yes. Unlike synchro summons, the level has to be like exactly equivalent, but that's not true for link summons. Yeah. It's closer to ritual summoning, yeah. In that regard. So that's pretty much how you link summon. I guess it'd be better to like see if you kind of understand. Like, so if I have a 2 and a 3 on my board, how many? What are the link ratings that I can make with a link 3 and a link 2? What are all of the possible combinations I can make with a 3 and a 2? A 3 and a 2. If I have a link 3 monster and a link 2 monster, what is everything I can make? All the combinations. I can make a 5. What else?
4.
What else? What else? You can't make a 6. It's 3 and 2, right? No effects. If I have a 3 and a 2 on board, what can I make? What are all the possible links I can make? All right. If you have a Link 3 monster and a Link 4, I mean a Link 2, you can make a Link. You can make a Link 2 because all Link monsters are treated as their exact Link monster and 1. So a Link 2 is worth 2 and worth 1. So if you have a 3 and a 2, you can make a Link 2, you can make a Link 3, you can make a Link 4, and you can make a Link 5. You can't make a Link 1 and you can't make a Link 6 because they don't equal 6. And you can't make a Link 1 with a 2 or higher unless the Link 1 specifically requires that it be a 2 or higher, which there's a couple cards in the game that do. Make sense? The best thing to understand is Link monsters are treated as their Link rating and 1. What you can't do is you can't use a Link 4 and a 1 to make another 4. You can't do that. Right. Because that equals 5. And unless there is a card or an effect in play that allows you to use that 4 for another of the same copy, you can't do that. And there is a mechanic in the game that does something like that. It's for a specific deck called Salamangreat, where they make Link monsters and they can relink those Link monsters into the same copy of that monster. So they use a Link 2 to link some of the same Link 2, and they gain an effect off of it. But that's specifically because their cards let them do that. That's not something the mechanic allows you to do. Right. So you have it has to, essentially you're going to be making a different number. Either you're adding or you're subtracting based off of the value of the Link you're trying to summon. You can. Because the Link 3 is worth 1 and the Link 2 is worth 2. Remember, Link monsters are equal to their rating or 1. So a 2 is 2 and 1. It just depends on what you want to use it for. You get to choose. Right. The difference between this game and Duel Links, Duel Links is just based off of, I guess, an older Yu-Gi-Oh! It doesn't have Link summoning, and the game is a lot slower than the modern version. There are less zones, if I recall correctly. I think there's only 3 monster zones, 3 Swallow Trap zones. It's just mostly a slower game. It's catered to those who want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! But are too... It's kind of like too late for them to get into the modern, because modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of like super fast. Alright. Where do you get online? It's a server called, I believe, Project Ignis. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the crash course on Link summoning. I think a really good deck to explain it. Let me see. Is this? I don't think I know how to play this deck very well, but we'll see. All right. This is the deck. This is a deck that's its core mechanic is Link summoning, right? So I'm gonna normal summon this card, and I'm gonna use its effect to search. This one? Alright. This card is it's an effect monster, right? It's not a Link monster, so its rating is always equal to 1. This is a Link 1, so I can make this card with it, right? This card has a unique effect that allows me, if I were to Link summon a monster with Code Talker in its name, I can use it from my hand. So that's the reason why these two are active. Normally you cannot Link summon from your hand. So I'm going to summon this card. This card gets an effect, and it's going to summon itself. It has an effect. going to special summon another copy of itself from deck, right? So what's the total amount of link ratings I have on the field right now? Just looking at this, it's 3. They're all equal 1. Link 1s are basically just effect monsters. They're not worth anything more than what they are, and these are always worth 1. It depends entirely on the effect of the monster, right? Yep. So we're gonna make a Link 2. What's the total value of the rating right now? So it's total 3. Right. But I could also make a Link 2 or a Link 1. I mean, I could also make a Link 2 using both of them, or a Link 3. Right. So I'm gonna use his effect. I'm going to summon this card back. What's the total amount of link ratings I have right now? Oh, I forgot to mention, if you were to use a link monster that's in the extra monster zone for material, you would just summon to this extra monster zone. So he's not stopping me from summoning this zone right here, if I use him as material. If that makes sense. So what's the total amount of summons I can do? Why? Is that all I can do? I could do a Link 2 with this and this. I can do a Link 2 with this and this. I can do a Link 3 with this and this. I can do a Link 3 with this and this. I can do a Link 4 with this, this, and this. This is worth 2. Can you see this little L2 right here? It lets you know it's a Link 2. Of course, the red markers in the card art also explain that. And it also says it down here. So we're gonna climb. We're gonna use this guy from our hand because we can do that. He has an effect. Right, so now we have a Link 3 on board, right? See, it says Link 3 right here. So what's the total amount of links we got? List me everything. From 1 to 6, what can I summon using all 3 of these monsters? Can I?
With the 2 orange monsters, the 2 effect monsters not counting the link summon.
I'm saying, what can I summon if I were to use all of the monsters? Can't make a Link 6 then. So how could I make a Link 4? I said using all 3 of the monsters here.
For Link 4.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah.
Using all 3 of the monsters here?
You wouldn't need to though.
That's true. But the question was, what exactly could I do with all 3 of these cards? I could. I mean, the higher the link rating, they usually have better effects. But what are the possible link ratings that I can use to summon a monster using all 3 of them? Just these 3 monsters. using all three of them. No, use just this and this or this and this. All three have to be used. What could I summon? Can I? That's not exactly what I said.
Oh, wait. Can you do more than one summon with this value?
Alright, so I'll explain it again. Alright. So Link monsters their rating is equivalent to the rating that they have and 1. So this card is either a 3 or a 1. So I can use it. I can make a Link 3 if I use all 3 of these. And I can make a Link 5. I cannot make a Link 4 if I were to use all 3 of these. I could make a Link 4 if I were only to use 2 of them. Right. So the answer is 3 and 5. I can't make a Link 1 out of any of using all these. I can't make a Link 1. I can't make a Link 2, and I can't make a Link 4. So let's use his effect. All right. What are the possible combinations I could do with this? How? Yep. I could do that. Yes. Yep. 3, 4, 5. Well, not both of them. Just one of them. It would be a 6 if I were to treat this as a 1. Because 3, 4, 5, 6. No. I have more materials than the Link rating.
4, 5. That's 5, 7. Link 7. Right?
Well, Link 7s don't exist, but yeah. I mean, they don't exist right now, right? But it could. Because 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because this is a Link 2. So you could do that.
You can do Link 6. And, yeah, that's about it.
I can do a 4. I can do a 6. I can't do a 5. I can only do, using all of them, I can only do 4 and 6 because 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I can do a 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I can do a 5. I lied. Like that's pretty much. I guess I would say that's the most complicated part of Link summoning, is learning what you can actually do with everything, because then things start to get creative, right? So now we're gonna do this. Right. How did this change our value of monsters on the board? What changed? What? No. Xyz materials are not monsters. Why can I do a value of 3? Oh no, continue then. Continue. I'm sorry. So explain how I can do each one. What combination of monsters could do each one, starting with 3? Right. because any monster that's not a Link monster or a Link 1 is equal to the value of a Link 1. So this is always going to be worth a Link 1. Any exceeds monster. Yep. That's correct. That's how you link summon. That's basically the crash course. There's definitely more to it than that. With the effects, because for example, they had reborn effects, right? So they were letting I could bring back cards from that graveyard and do extra things with them. But that's fundamentally like I guess ground zero with link summoning. As long as you understand that concept, you should be fine. Of course, we don't necessarily have to play a deck that's super crazy on them. I don't know what's an easy deck to get you to play.
Either way, I'm gonna have a lot of time to read the text if I don't know the card.
Oh hell yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of that.
Until I get used to it.
I guess I could teach you about pendulum summoning since you don't know about that. Because we don't. I don't want to pick a deck yet until like you understand the rules.
I know pendulum summoning.
So you know how it works.
I watched the goddamn anime, but they never finished the fucking arc beat.
Okay.
Remember? Okay, hold on. You can teach it to me, but this is what I remember. Put a card on. Okay, so that one's 8, either blue or red. So that means you have to set a field where all the monsters that are level 7 up to level 2 can be summoned. No. There has to be an 8 and any other number. It can be 5, 4, 3, 2.
We'll do 8 and 2 right here. 8 and 2. What does that mean?
You can only summon monsters between 7 and 3.
Yep. Yeah. You got it.
Does that include Xyz,
You don't pen.
Pro?
Okay, so that's a bit different, but you don't typically pendulum summon those monsters. That's only for the specific summon that is called a pendulum summon, which is where you special summon monsters from your hand or face up in your extra deck to your zones a link monster points to.
That's the problem.
That's the new change. You can't just summon them anywhere anymore. They have to go to a zone that's being pointed to by a link monster.
Also, the pendulum summons take over your trap monsters or your trap magic, your trap spell zone.
Yep. These right here are your spell and trap zones. 2 of the pendulum zones will go right here. So we're going to...
What the hell is that?
It searches 2 pendulum magicians. I don't really know how to play pendulum, so I'm just gonna search 2 of these and then we'll see. It's definitely more complicated than it needs to be. We're gonna use this card. Yep. They're treated as spell cards when they're in the pendulum zone. Yep. Now we're gonna normal summon them. And we're going to perform let's make this simple actually. When pendulum monsters are used, they go face up in the extra deck so that they can be pendulum summoned. You watch Stark V, so you know that. They don't go to the graveyard.
Summon alien summon?
No, you can't. They're not treated as monsters when they're in the scales. So I'm going to place one here. I'm going to place one here. I'm going to use this card's effect to add this to my hand. Alright, so the difference between pendulum summoning now and how it used to be is to balance the mechanics recurability, you can only pendulum summon monsters from your extra deck. So if you were to special summon them from the extra deck like this, they have to go to a zone of link monster point. Whereas if they're coming from your hand, they don't have that restriction. So when I pendulum summon, I summon this one and this one that are in my hand, and then I'm going to click this one and this one that are in my extra deck. This is the one that's in my extra deck. So see how it's forced to go here. I can't send it anywhere else. Same thing with this one, but this one coming from my hand can go here. You can summon from your hand or extra deck, yes. Because that's where they go when they're used as material. For anything except an Xyz summon. So if I, like, I'll show you right now, right? So I'm going to use these two right here to make a Xyz monster, right? They go under the card. And then I'm going to check that and use its effect. To search. Right. It went to the graveyard. The reason it went to the graveyard is because it's under this card. It's no longer treated as a pendulum monster. But it's still, while it's here, it's still treated as a pendulum monster. So I can do this. When I use them as material, summon a Link monster, they go here now. And if I wanted to summon them back, they have to go to a zone of Link monster point. That's how. That's really the only change pendulums have from how you used to know them. It was a balancing decision. It was because the mechanic was super strong. Yeah. They decided to like weaken it, nerf it a bit.
I didn't want to think about it. I think it's just the fact I don't want to think about it. It's the problem.
Yeah. So that's you said you already know how, like, you know how fusion summoning works, right? Like, I don't. Any card effect that would let you perform a fusion summon. So I'll show you right now. Alright, so when performing a fusion summon, you need to read the card and look at its materials. This card says 1 Dragon Maid monster and 1 level 5 or higher dragon monster. So the way this is worded is that you see these two cards right here, they fit the requirements, right? This is a Dragon Maid monster, this is a level 5 or higher dragon monster. But this is also a Dragon Maid monster, right? Now, the thing about it is, let's say this was not a Dragon Maid monster. If I tried to use this card, I could not summon this. And the reason for that is because this card can either be treated as the level 5 or higher monster or the Dragon Maid monster. But it can't be both. If that makes sense, right? So, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to fusion summon this. That's how you perform a fusion summon. You usually need some sort of card effect as the catalyst to do it. It's pretty easy. It's just you have to know how to use your materials. There are some. That's called a contact fusion. Yeah. Those are rare. But they tend to still have like material requirements that you need to abide by. Some of them also have unique summoning mechanics to themselves. Yeah. This card's banned, but it's kind of like what you were talking about. The way it's worded, right, it requires a Thunder Dragon plus a Thunder Monster. It says must either be fusion summoned or special summoned during the turn a Thunder Monster's effect was activated in the hand by tributing 1 Thunder effect non-fusion monster. In which case you don't use polymerization. So you can actually summon this card without fusion summoning it. By that second effect. So you can summon cards without by ignoring their, I wouldn't say ignoring it, but by using other methods that they have in their text. It just depends on what the card is. Xyz summoning have it too. Let me see. Here it is. You can also exceed summon this card by using a rank 4 Utopia monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. So if you were to summon the number 39 Utopia, you could also then summon this card on top of that Utopia. It's not an exceed summon in the same way as like putting 2 level 4 monsters, but it has its own summoning requirement within its text. So you can do that too. There are other ways to summon monsters. Put it that way. That's the lesson here. You don't, because it has the other summoning requirement.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So you could choose to do either or, but obviously the summoning Utopia leading into this card is easier than doing it with 3 level 5 or light monsters. That's kind of hard to pull off. I don't think I mean, there's so much to teach, but it's like I can't teach everything. It's a bit too cumbersome. I can only hope to like give you the basics, and then you kind of decide like.
I have to figure out the rest by reading the goddamn cards and seeing what's possible.
Yeah, I don't really know where exactly Ground Zero is for Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know exactly how to like where to send you to find like how to get started, right? I can only say jump in on the deep end and like figure out what these cards are doing and go from there, I guess. Cause it's
go look up a winner deck, copy the deck, and make your own deck.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes you gotta play like Yugi Kaiba stuff because that's what you know, and then you learn what the game is, and then you like move from there. Like I suppose that could be a way.
The last thing I played was very Secret Summon dependent because that's Stardust Dragon and Black Rose Dragon.
That type of deck still exists.
I know they do because they're fucking powerful. The utility on them is so strong. Just having a card that negates an effect by sacrificing itself.
I mean, nowadays you can do that without sacrificing yourself.
Black Rose Dragon is just a goddamn. It's just black hole, but it affects all cards.
Yeah. Now you can do dumb shit like this.
What the hell?
I'm just gonna show you like some things that you can do. I haven't played this deck, so the combos are gonna be crusty, but bear with me. Special summon. Alright, here we go. Use this card's effect to send this guy to the graveyard and search. Special summon this guy and attack mode. Probably messed that up, but it's whatever. Use this card's effect. Summon itself here. Two level 4s. Search this one. Use its effect to summon itself. Here we are. Alright. Pretty much everything from here on out.
Oh shit, I remember that guy.
so many monsters that I know what to do with. I'm gonna make this right here. And then use this and this. Alright, so what I just did here, the only reason because normally you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to use a Link 2 for a Link 1. But this card has a specific requirement that asks for a Link 2 or higher monster. So that's how I did that. If cards allow it, then you can do it. That's the only time. So then I'm going to use these two. Tokens are equal to Link 1s, yes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Even scapegoat.
Even scapegoat. We're going to use this and this to make. This is so crusty. I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody come figure out an Adamantipator combo for me. Yeah, you're right. No, I can't do that. All right, we're just gonna do this. All right, we're gonna make our Link 4 in all of them because we can do that. And then we're gonna do this. I'm gonna equip it with this guy, and now my opponent can't play the game. I think we did it right. Nah, dude, I just played solitaire.
That all in one turn.
Oh, I can do some dumb shit, dude. Let me go play my deck.
Sure, man. Let's play your deck.
You can do some dumb shit in this hand. Oh, see, this hand is perfect for dumb shit, too.
Sarcophagus. Sheep or Dragon Blade.
Teaching him how to play Yu-Gi Mans. I hate Link summoning, but I mean, it is a part of the game. I think Synchro was the one I liked the most, but I think Fusion these days. I think Pendulum Summoning gets a lot of, he gets a bad rep for sure. I know he gets a bad rep. I mean, Arc V was bad. Like, the direction on the show was stupid. Can't say I was the biggest fan of Zetsu.
I wasn't either,
That's fair.
Just figured out the D stands for Neo 5Ds. Don't watch it.
5Ds. 5Ds was actually good.
No, they made fun in the original Neo 5Ds.
Well, unfortunately, because I don't have an opponent, I can't resolve the full effect, right? But oh, its effect is negative.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all that means.
I guess I actually have to update my game, huh?
Would be nice.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
like right now. Oh, you got
But you guys aren't allowed to have nice things.
Nope.
a Mexican.
I'm gonna just play a couple games and you can watch. How's that sound?
Sounded like some fucking like smork voice.
What? Did I sound Mexican?
Mhm.
No, fucking sort of.
I'm gonna just play a couple games and you can watch.
Fucking. No, when you said nope.
Oh. Oh, right. I haven't even taught you about fucking hand traps yet. You know how like Kaiba was all like, you activated my trap card? Oh, that's interesting. This isn't fun.
You definitely say Magic is way easier to understand than this.
Oh yeah, infinitely easier to understand.
All you have to do is just know what the words mean.
Most definitely is. Yep. Or no, it means your opponent can summon to that zone. Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Magic, I don't know if any of you know what this card is exactly, but they reprinted Black Lotus for Commander.
I'm not specifically well versed in Magic, but I do know that a lot of people at my job love it. Or my old job, I guess. So I think that was a super expensive card from an older set.
Yeah, so there's a couple. There's like an Alpha Black Lotus. And it's one of the most expensive cards. Yeah, it was an artifact you can play for 0 cost, tap it, sacrifice it, add 3 mana, and then come in strictly broken. Oh yeah. Like, even like an unrated Alpha Black Lotus goes for like 6 figures. And like a beta Black Lotus goes for like I think that like the Gem Mint 9.5 rated Alpha Black Lotus goes for like $500,000.
Something you're gonna learn about very quickly in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is floodgates. Cards that tell your opponent they can't play the game.
Cards you can't play a little monster that's above 4.
But they recently basically they reprinted Black Lotus as this Jeweled Lotus for Commander format. Nope. Not in Commander. So Commander's a special format. Commander format is you basically like there's a ton of different legendary creatures in the game, and you pick one of those as your legendary, or you pick a legendary creature to be your commander, and then the rest of your deck has to follow the same color identity as your commander. You only have one copy of cards in your deck, and you have to have 99 cards. So commander is 100 cards. And then basically the way that it plays is that like your commander can come out onto the field just like it normally would as a unit if you pay its mana cost, and then if it dies or is exiled or sacrificed or anything, it just goes back to your command zone, and you can re-summon it paying like 2 more mana each time than the first time. They printed this Jeweled Lotus, which is Black Lotus, but you can only spend the mana to summon your Oh, I have to pay for a sub.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed. Money, right?
better not be a raid tier release.
There better fucking not. I don't want them to drop the raid tier December 1st. 8th is fine. Give me like fucking 5-6 days with the expansion, then I'll go raid in Final Fantasy. That's enough time for me to max out like 2-3 characters and like just beyond weeklies or weeklies by that point.
Copies of it.
If Magic, Magic, fucking WoW decided to release the same day that that is up with me.
Actually, wait, it's 23rd, so... Give us Shadowlands over Christmas? Coming out the 23rd. Oh, yeah, it's gonna release it. They did a trailer, and they gave us the release date because it lines up with WoW's anniversary.
Okay, then we're safe. Feels bad for Dave if he gets it wrong, though.
Yeah. Feels bad that we're theoretically only, 3 weeks from the first week of December, and they haven't given us a day. When does Castle Nathria release, though? That's 3 But there's a delay between normal release. After the game's launch, first raid of Castle Nathria will be December 8th, which is going to be normal and pro.
He protected it.
So December 15th, Mythic Castle Nathria release. December 15th. Normal and Heroic releases on December 8th. Mythic December 5th. I don't even know what I'm doing in WoW yet. It's not like I have I played I mean, it's gonna be different depending on what. I can, but like depending on what class I'm playing, I'm gonna be in a different cover. I'm out. There's money to the bank.
Making me fucking work for this. floodgates are a very pervasive issue in Yu-Gi-Oh! They're really bad nowadays. There's like 50 of them. Different versions that say you can't play the game.
Alright, yeah, you got it, bro.
Oh wait, you lost?
Yeah. I'm gonna go first though.
Oh, we're starting at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Not 8:30. Okay. Which means like an hour and 20 minutes. You're gonna do that? I'm gonna watch you do this game, and then I'm gonna shower and get some food.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds nice.
I don't wanna. I wish I could eat as late as I used to before, but I can't because of this pandemic still. Curfews. This is a curfew small thing.
I mean, when you put it like that. Makes sense. No, I am not.
Citizen, I live out here.
Gotta start playing the game now.
What are we gonna do about
I got it.
I got plenty of food, and my guns are down. No, I'm better than you, Gil.
Dang. He's a Jew poor.
Clearly not.
That's the only time it goes important.
Yeah, at the beginning, and then you have to have fucking.
Everything else is crap.
Are we crafting our own shit?
We most definitely are. Not that Sif nonsense.
Oh my god, remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Wait, what was the Sith nonsense?
Jin, you tell him.
Okay, I'll tell you. So week 1 of the 28th, he just kept it all to himself. And I even asked about it, and the fucking Sif said I was being a fucking idiot, just meddling in business. It's like, what are you talking about?
You weren't being an idiot.
Being an idiot. How was I an idiot for asking about because he never told me anything?
God knows I hate this deck. A really boring control strategy.
God knows he's got enough to focus on. Just like breathing.
That's fucked up. Cool.
Pop up last time I played. Speaking of which,
There's a quest. Rank area. So what's the deal then? If we're making our own gear, are we 0-houring normal and then going into savage? Or are we
Pretty much, yeah.
just, okay, so what's the gear situation?
Yeah, how are we gonna craft our stuff?
Are we gonna gather the materials for our shit?
Unfortunately, we're probably going to have to look around. And try and fund some way of doing it.
Okay, so we're not making our own gear.
At the very least, we can fund people to gather the mats. Because I don't think anybody has all the money to you know what I mean, right?
You're right. I have like 20 million between two characters. That's gonna fucking.
Yeah, I am not expecting. I'm not even gonna expect you to do that by yourself. That's why I think it's if we can at least have somebody get the mats, we can make it ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, if we take like an hour break at some point, I will just spend all of that gathering because I have my list
Yeah.
already prepped.
A few of us also have it, so it should be fine.
Like as soon as I can just ask someone, hey, give me all the node times and locations and a material sheet. Just get that shit.
You guys went into like just skip
What do you mean?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
dude.
like you just did normal, you skipped through normal.
Oh, this hand is
Oh,
gross.
shit.
What I'm asking is, you guys didn't wait for Jave to finish watching the cutscenes.
Jabe knew what he signed up for. We're not gonna have that issue.
I just remember before 5 games.
If it's not like in relation to serious content, then it doesn't matter. That's nice. Yep. I literally just needed one normal summon and I could have done all this. That's annoying. Oh, damn. Wait, what the? Tribute one. I don't even know, bro. That's crazy.
Zero audio. Second.
Hate to see floodgates, 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 floodgates. Yeah. probably dead. He opens Gamma Nib and I open triple fucking parlor, double parlor lore par gold Zark. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't have time for this. You got it, bro.
Oh, the new gathering shit is cheap.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Yoink. Spent like maybe 1 mil on a full set. It's all crafting bullshit, need boots.
Jesus Christ. Double knock, double imperm. For what reason? Why am I opening like this? did that backwards. I did that so backwards. Damn it. I'm supposed to do imperm for drop, not drop first, spheres first. Oh well. Not like VFT's gonna do anything this late into the game. At least I don't get popped by anything here. But nothing on the field for him to pop. Taking a trip down that what should we call it? The rabbit hole? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Except I'm looking for gather melts.
Makes sense. I usually just go cheap budget melts because I don't think it ever really requires more than that.
Yeah.
At least not right now.
I just want to see what the budget thresholds are.
Makes sense.
If I can find them. They pinned in the questions. Pinned anywhere. Where's the resources chart?
I have 14 raid tonight, and then I gotta get to bed early because I have training for a new job at 5 a.m. So I will not be participating in Among Us tonight. I am sorry. UPS warehouse. Super. Specs.
Yeah.
Good luck on your new job. Yeah, thanks, man. I'll probably on nights where I don't like play this game, I could like adjust my sleep schedule, I guess, to try and accommodate playing with you guys, because I do like playing. This thing's annoying.
There's gotta be a way to budget this better. There's still material slots unused.
It's attack over Deviati. Oh no, attack over. No, okay. Should be everything. Now we got Dragoon. This is fun. This will do nicely. Oh my god, called by the grave? Why do I keep getting hit by this one of? What the fuck? Oh my god, that is so frustrating. I keep straight, and no matter who I duel, I get hit by that fucking one of called by the grave. It's fucking crazy, man. Okay. Well, I'm killing you through that. Oh, excuse me.